as you have already mentioned, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a land person. We may not be having lawyers here, but with your wisdom and the knowledge you gained through MMU and other institutions, you can also offer your guidance. Is it okay? Secondly, so we must work within the established law. I think that's, to me, that's a principle. Now, this is not a convocation of the alumni. Let's first agree on that. This is not a convocation of the alumni. What we are going through as MMU is a process of constituting a convocation of the alumni. And of course, for us to have the convocation, we must go through a process which is embracing every alumni. So what we have today is a General Assembly. And this General Assembly is not guided by any document which is formulated by this General Assembly. There is no document. If there is any document, you bring it here and we see it. It's not there. So in the wisdom of the governance of MMU, we thought it's very important for us to spearhead a move of bringing all the alumni together. First of all, to understand that there is a need to form a convocation. Because by law, I think it is Article 70, we are supposed to have a convocation. So I think also we should be grateful to us, although we are doing our work, but we have done our part. That's the first meeting which was held on 16th of March, 2024. And of course, as an institution, we cannot be part of the alumni to direct you. You have to do it yourselves. And as a result of that meeting, you ended up having an interim steering committee with clear terms of reference. And thereafter, it was appointed. It was formally appointed. I think that was around December something. It was formally appointed and started its work. And one of the terms of that steering committee was to mobilize the alumni, number two, engage the alumni, and then they come out with a constitution, a draft constitution, which I believe, I think they are going to give a presentation. They have done it. Now, they have come back to the General Assembly to present their work. And for us as MMU, we have done what it takes to inform the alumni. I think a note was sent in the newspaper. I think the steering committee sent messages everywhere that let's convene again. And the work you gave us, we give you, the draft constitution. So it is that General Assembly. It can even be a General Assembly of 10 people. You don't need a General Assembly of 200, 300, 8. No. I don't think, because there is no law. I don't think there is any legal document which guides the General Assembly on the quorum of adopting the Constitution. No? But once the Constitution has been adopted, now it becomes a law, then it has to be followed, because the issue of the quorum is already stated in the Constitution. That's my interpretation. That's my interpretation. Thirdly, I think it's very important for us, because for every opportunity that is given, you have to move. This is the opportunity that is given to all of us, including the alumni, to ensure that we begin the journey of having a convocation of the MMU alumni. So we have to think about it. I know we have to do it right. And in my wisdom, personally, I believe we are doing it right. Because if somebody talked of the act, in the act there is no section in the act which talks about the General Assembly. There is no section. They talk of the convocation, which we don't have. So it's up to you. If you have a feeling that you need now to bring lawyers here, we go home and bring lawyers. For us as management, we need a representative of the convocation on council. We are going to the 5th year now. We don't have a person. We need a member of the convocation to be on Senate. We don't have. So delay means decay. Let's reflect. Delay means decay. I submit.
Thank you so much, Professor. Okay, there is another hand up here.
Thank you so much. Can I make a proposal for this meeting to go forth? And I'm proposing that this is adopted as our agenda, so that as the professor has just mentioned, we have come here, put resources, and we have sacrificed other time that we go on, and then the other gaps that are there will come as we grow. We have already had the anthem, the prayers. We have had the anthem, and now we were having a challenge of adopting the agenda. And I propose that number 4, we allow the welcoming remarks. Number 5, we have the overview of the constitution of the alumni, not the convocation. Number 6, we have the discussion and the approval of the constitution, which means we may approve or we may not, but we get into the conversation. And number 6, after that, we shall have remarks from the DVC and finance and academic administration. And then after that, we have the speech from the guest of honor and have closing prayer, so that we are able to get into the discussion. The other element that we have I have muted here, in my opinion, they may not be relevant now. We have one task. Let's do one task, and then we shall correct the others in the other meetings. Yeah, and let us avoid the tendency think that the indispensability. We have to be practical. We can't come here and go back home. So if you agree that we uphold this agenda and then the other will come, I will request your voice.
Thank you so much, Father.
Having heard from the man of God, a voice piece of God has spoken. With due respect, I submit this submission that we move on with that program, that arrangement. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Thank you for the guidance, Father, what you have given to us. Members, there is an error that we have made at the beginning. I don't know. Call the House to order, then we proceed. I submit.
Thank you so much, sir. I now take it back to the Academic Registrar's Office.
Thank you very much, members and colleagues. The discussions have been so rich, and we appreciate that we are actually, through these discussions and engagement, we are moving forward, by the way. So that's what we should appreciate, that, you know, when we air out our views, our concerns, we feel free in our hearts, and we do appreciate. Thank you, my brother, for the guidance. We agree. So as Father had mentioned earlier on, I think colleagues, let us continue being mature enough. Let us go with the adjusted agenda as our colleagues have suggested, and we had already moved on. We had already finished the prayers, anthems, and now let us continue and adopt the agenda with amendments. We adjust the agenda as colleagues have suggested, whereby the agenda will now read prayer, anthems, and adoption. Then we shall have remarks, then overview of the Constitution, because we cannot just throw away that component of the Constitution, because the interim committee, this is their core mandate why they were put in place. There is a Constitution they have been working on, which they have to present to the General Assembly for discussion. So we cannot really ignore it. So they will have to give us a report. For those who are worried what happened previously, and then you want to evaluate and see if they did what they were supposed to do, that's okay. There is a whole section for the report, which they will have to give us from what they have been doing, where and how. That one, we expect it, they will tell us here, and you will be able to have some discussion. Then we shall look at the discussion and approve of the Constitution, which they will have presented to us, and then remarks from the DVCFA, then the speech from our chief guest. I think let us agree we move with that, and then and the meeting takes shape. Thank you very much. Reverend Father had already moved, so Karatunga had seconded and Tom had seconded, and this is for record, okay? So thank you very much. You still have a comment? All right.
My comment is, I had seconded on the previous agenda, and now you are correcting it, whereby you are skipping a very important issue, because we understand that today the interim committee is expiring. What is the next step when the committee is going out and we don't have anything on the agenda? Where are we heading to it now?
Thank you very much. You see, this is why we have to allow these comments come out. Some of this discussion, like what you are raising, it will come in the discussion and you will be answered. I'm very 100% sure that your concern will be addressed in the subsequent discussion. So let us move on, and then these comments and concerns and issues, they will come. All right, thank you very much. You also have a comment? All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Sylvia Verong is my name. I adopt the agenda.
Thank you. Sylvia has been added on the people or the alumni who have adopted the agenda, and the minutes are being captured. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me proceed to the opening remarks or welcome remarks from the academic registrar.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Pius Coxwell Achanga, the Deputy Vice Chancellor F&A, the University Secretary in absentia, and members of the top university management, members of staff present, members, distinguished alumni, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Now it's afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. It gives, on behalf of the academic registrar and my own behalf, it gives us great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this very vital and historic meeting convened for the consideration and approval of the alumni constitution. And this is a significant milestone that will ultimately lead to the formal establishment of the Convocation of Mountains of the Moon University. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a turning point in strengthening the relationship between the university and its graduates. And as alumni of this noble constitution, you remain ambassadors, stakeholders, and lifelong partners in growth and transformation of this university. Your presence here today demonstrates commitment, loyalty, and a shared vision for the future of our alma mater. For the establishment of a convocation, ladies and gentlemen, as we have been discussing, it is not merely a statutory requirement, but an important pillar in the governance, identity, and development of any public university. A vibrant convocation that we are yet to establish creates a formal platform through which you, the alumni, remain connected to the institution, contribute ideas toward institutional advancement, and actively participate in academic and social life of the university. In other words, after graduation, it doesn't mean that you should go and get lost wherever you will go. No, this convocation will be a bridge for you to be back home and participate in the development of the university. Distinguished alumni, universities across the world currently thrive significantly because of strong alumni networks. Alumni contributes through mentorship, career guidance to our students, research, collaborations, internships, placements for students, resource mobilizations, scholarships for you have opportunities over there, wherever you are in your institutions, infrastructure development, as you have seen other alumni have done it to other university, Makerere and others, building, having a whole building like this for the alumni. And promotion of institutional visibility. The success and reputation and of any university are greatly reflected in the achievement and involvement of its graduate, and in this case, you ladies and gentlemen who are here. I therefore wish to emphasize that the convocation seek to establish through this constitution in the coming time will only become meaningful through your active participation and collective contribution. There have been so many challenges when people, colleagues are put together in a convocation and they go and never come back again. They only allow few members to work. So this means that our active participation and collective contribution will matter a lot in this convocation we are yet to establish. Every alumnus and alumna has a role to play regardless of who you are, what profession you belong to, or the level of support you can offer. Your ideas, expertise, networks, experience, and commitment are invaluable resources that can propel Mountains of the Moon University to greater heights. Allow me to extend sincere appreciation to the university management for supporting this process. Ladies and gentlemen, our being here should not be taken for granted. The university management has been going through with the colleagues, supporting the interim through benchmarks and so many other activities that they have been doing. Therefore, I do support you and salute you, top university management, for the support to this process. On behalf of the academic registrar, Mrs. Grace Kenya Kahuma, who is not with us today, I thank you all for honoring this invitation and for your continued dedication to Mountains of the Moon University. I wish you fruitful deliberations and a successful meeting. Heads for progress. Thank you. MC, please, are you around? MC, I think he's a little bit not with us, but as we had suggested that we move on with the agenda, we are looking at the next item on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen, and the next item is yes, the next item is overview of first of all, let us have the report from Alumni Interim Committee. Yes, we cannot, yes, thank you. So I think they can have the report. Members are really interested in hearing what has been transpiring, and then the overview will follow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Academic Registrar and the Programs Director in absentia. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Cha, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration, Edmond, Academic Registrar, our Dean of Students, interim committee members, alumni, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I want to take this opportunity to appreciate the concerns so far we have registered this afternoon. And of course, I thank the big brains that have given us a very wonderful guidance to this function. Allow me to go through our report, and I'll read in verbatim to avoid repetition. It has sections. Now I begin with the introduction. Referring on the meeting which we had, which I'll be quoting in this report, allow me to begin where we started from. Section 7 of the Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, Cap 262, explicitly establishes a convocation in a governance of public universities as the official association of all graduates and staff of public universities. By this legal establishment, alumni, staff, and other stakeholders offered a platform to contribute to the strategic governance and development of public universities. Mountains of the Moon University, MMU, is currently in the process of fulfilling this regulatory requirement, and in the spirit of collaboration, ownership, and shared commitment to advancing the university's mission and vision. Premised on this belief, Mountains of the Moon University held an alumni general meeting on March 16, 2024, to discuss the shared vision of establishing a convocation. During this meeting, alumni elected a 7-member interim committee with a primary mandate of steering the establishment of the convocation of Mountains of the Moon University by developing a constitution and preparing for a formal launch of the convocation. The committee was subsequently appointed on 1st of July 2024 and oriented on 9th of August 2024 for a task that was expected to be accomplished in 6 months. Dear chief guests and members, allow me to introduce the committee members who were behind this function of today to its success. I myself, Mr. Msinge K. Bob, I am the chairperson, and I came from the Faculty of Business and Management Sciences, and also I had Mr. Tosige Emmanuel, each must stand up for recognition, who represented the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, who acted as a secretary of this committee. We had Alnaito Mkonyezi, who has been our programs director, who came from the Faculty of Science and Technology and Innovations. Mr. Saba Eli, you can stand up. He came from the Faculty of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. I had Ms. Kakwera Letitia, came from the Faculty of Education. She's there at the registration table. Mr. Kagaba George Stevenson, Faculty of Health Sciences. And the last one of the committee was Mr. Tosige Doviko, who came from the Postgraduate Studies and Research. Since then, the committee members selflessly embarked on their responsibilities with dedication, committed to establishing a convocation that is inclusive, effective, and responsive to the needs and interests of its members, and one seeking to create a legacy for Mountains of the Moon University. This report therefore provides an account for committee's activities, milestones achieved, financial provisions, challenges, and what remains to be done as the convocation takes shape. Item 2, constitution-making process. Guided by a shared vision, the interim committee undertook several deliberate activities and processes to establish a strong, inclusive, and forward-looking convocation that seeks to contribute meaningfully to the growth and reputation of our mighty university. The activities below have shaped the current milestone. A, appointment and orientation of the Alumni Interim Committee. The committee was appointed in July 2024 and subsequently oriented on 9th of August 2024 by the Office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration. The orientation intended to provide committee members with a thorough understanding of their roles, expectations, and the scope of their responsibilities. The university administration emphasized the importance of aligning the convocation's establishment with the university's overall strategic objectives and long-term vision. This activity marked the official commencement of the committee's work. B, development of the work plan and budget. Following the orientation, the committee developed a comprehensive work plan and budget. The work plan outlined the specific activities, timelines, expected outcomes, and requirements for effective accomplishment of specific activities, while the budget detailed the financial resources required to implement the planned activities. C, benchmarking. Benchmarking from other established convocations. Strategically, in November 2024, the committee conducted the physical benchmarking visits to the convocations at Kabale and Chambogo universities. These visits enabled the committee members to engage directly with the convocation executives, gain first-hand insight into how convocations are structured, understand the initiatives and projects in place, existing challenges, and establish valuable relationships with the management of both institutions and their convocations. Following the successful physical benchmarking visits, the committee carried out virtual benchmarking meetings with convocational leaderships from Makerere University and Mbarara University of Science and Technology. These engagements provided additional insights into best practices for convocation management and reinforced the lessons drawn from the physical benchmarking exercises, placing the committee in a strong and more informed positions to draft a constitution of convocation of Mountains of the Moon University from an informed perspective. This constitution therefore addresses some of the gaps that were derailing progress in convocations benchmarked from and safeguards strategic alumni interests now and in the future. And my report here has some pictures of our team in Kabale University. Another photo, the team in discussion with the Chambogo University. Those were physical visits, and other photos aligning to the same. D, a drafting of the first convocation constitution of Mountains of the Moon University. This important task was undertaken through a series of consultative and well-organized meetings conducted by the steering committee. During these meetings, members critically reviewed various governance frameworks, discussed the aspirations and interests of the alumni community, and developed provisions aimed at establishing a strong, transparent, and sustainable convocation structure. The committee worked collectively to ensure that the proposed constitution reflects the values, vision, and objectives of the university, while providing clear guidance on membership, leadership, operations, rights, responsibilities, and the future development of the convocation. The drafting process was characterized by teamwork, commitment, and excessive deliberations to produce a comprehensive document that would serve as a foundation for the effective functioning of the Convocation of Mountains of the Moon University. E, stakeholder mapping. The committee recognized the importance of fully involving alumni as key stakeholders in every process. To achieve this, the committee developed and deployed an online tool aimed at identifying and documenting alumni across Uganda and beyond. The tool was specifically designed to capture the current contacts and locations of alumni, enabling the committee just information that this report is put on the alumni group, so we can move together instead of you can be even correcting me on our platform. Okay, we continue. The effective management strategies and strengthen their participation in the convocation establishment process through regular communication updates and consultations. This initiative also greatly supported the creation of alumni database, which has since facilitated communication engagement and mobilization for this General Assembly. And F, stakeholder consultations. Engaging key stakeholders in the development of the Constitution remains fundamental and the only basis for claiming a shared vision and principles. The interim committee organized both physical and virtual consultations. The physical consultative meeting was held centrally here in Fort Portal City on 20th of December 2025, bringing together 21 members on the alumni community to review and give input in the first draft of the Constitution. These members took time to conceptualize the institution and proposed essential amendments to that draft. They were subsequently incorporated in a later version of the Constitution. I have the pictures here of people who participated, and we had fun for that day, and those people who participated, they can see themselves. In continuation, to meet the needs of alumni who would make it to the physical consultative meeting, the interim committee organized a virtual meeting via Zoom on the 11th of January 2026. This meeting was attended by 39 members stationed in different corners of the world. These alumni too offered valuable insights on the structure, functions, and overall aspirations of the MMU convocation. Their ideas featured in the later version of the Constitution. Besides physical and virtual meetings, a commendable number of alumni sent in their ideas to the secretary through emails as part of their contribution to the alumni-centered framework that we are yet to adopt. These engagements reflected the interests of alumni in establishing the convocation of MMU, which when harnessed will spur the growth of not just the alumni body, but the university at large. G, engagement of the university administration. The interim committee held several engagements and consultative meetings with the university management on various occasions, notably on 15th January 2025, 4th February 2026, 30th April 2026 and on 11th of May 2026. During these meetings, the committee presented progress reports on the work accomplished, which greatly helped to keep the process on course and aligned with the intended objectives. The guidance and support of management contributed significantly to the progress registered. During the meeting, the extensive discussions were held based on the reports, with particular focus on the draft alumni constitution. Key issues raised included the article alignment, the structural consistency, and their important observations and other important observations. The meetings recommended some critical adjustments to ensure a refined document that is aligned with university standards and better positioned to guide the establishment and governance of the convocation. Again, there are photos as an evidence of such meetings with the US and other top management of the university. H, University Legal Team. After a series of meetings and incorporation of all recommendations from alumni and the university management, the final draft of the constitution was referred to the legal team that carefully reviewed it, provided professional legal guidance, and identified areas that required refinement, clarity, and proper legal wording. The recommendations were incorporated, ensuring that the final document is well polished, legally sound, and free from major encumbrances. As we present this constitution today, it stands as a strong and reliable instrument to guide, protect, and uphold the governance of the Convocation of Mountains of the Buni University. Item 3, the construction of the Constitution of the Convocation of MMU. The interim committee would like to thank all individuals who participated in all stages and offered valuable input in the constitution development process. Today, we officially announce that the Constitution of the Convocation of Mountains of the Moon University is now complete, available, and ready to be handed over to the incoming executive to facilitate the commencement of the convocation. This constitution encompasses all the essential components of a valid constitution, including clearly stated mission and vision, defined objectives, a structured government framework, governance framework, and other well-aligned articles extending to the general and the transitional provisions. Each section has been carefully articulated to reflect and safeguard the interests of all stakeholders of the convocation. As we step out to lay a firm foundation for the growth and development of the Convocation of Mountains of the Buni University, this document will act as a framework for unity and guide for governance and a symbol of our collective aspirations, reflecting the voices, ideas, and commitment of many stakeholders who believe in the power of alumni and other stakeholders' engagement in institutional continuity. Financial facilitations. Phase 1, we received a total of 6,796,000, which was to cover these activities which are already highlighted. The committee per diem, when we moved, the vehicle hiring, the figures are there, fuel consumption, identification tags, the ones you see putting on, university shirts, and the rest. Also, that kind of money also included Zoom account for virtual consultations, internet, and a lunch plus other refreshments. And phase 2, we received 6,444,000. And this amount of money was for covering these activities, voice calls, bulk SMS, and data. And physical consultations in the Fort Portal region, also the money we received, part of that was for the venue, participants' refreshments, lunch for committee members, projector hire, flyers, and designing of flyers and the rest, committee transport, radio and DJ mentions, and also Zoom account, internet, other other flyers for the different activity, transport costs, lunch and refreshments, plus stationery. 5, we are going to the challenges. Financial constraints and delays caused interruptions in our scheduled activities throughout the process. This affected the momentum of the exercise and led to the decline in morale among the alumni, especially after discussions that had generated significant debate and interest on our social media platforms. Challenge number 2, low turn-up during physical consultations. Despite massive mobilization, this has not only deprived the committee of ideas from a big number of alumni, but also caused resource wastage. 6, pending activities. 1, presentation of the final constitution of the convocation of the University Council of MMU for noting and recommendation of other potential members in accordance with Section 70, subsection 1 of the Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, Cap 262. 2, a formal launching of the convocation constitution and subsequent process to officially launch the long-awaited convocation of Mountains of the Moon University. And 3, election of substantive leadership / executive to operationalize convocation of Mountains of the Moon University. And item 7, recommendations and way forward. We recommend that a clear guidance and support be provided for the first election process of the convocation leadership to ensure smooth, transparent, legal, and credible transition into the new governance structure. We further recommend speeding up the remaining process to ensure Mountains of the Moon University alumni are represented in all university governing organs by the start of this financial year, 2026-2027 financial year. The university out to advantage of the current interest among alumni in convocation matters to harness their participation in the fundamental convocation activities. And lastly, we recognize deliberate orientation of university staff to their membership in the convocation as stipulated in Section 70, subsection 1 of the Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, Cap 262. Their active participation in the convocation governance will help strengthen leadership and strategic planning for convocation executive. I'm about to end. As interim committee steps down, the responsibility to nurture, implement, and uphold the principles enshrined in the Constitution lies in the hands of the inaugural executive committee. It is a strong call to launch leadership rooted in integrity, inclusiveness, and a strong sense of purpose, one that will build on the foundation laid by the interim committee to strengthen alumni network and ensure that the convocation becomes a vibrant platform for engagement, mentorship, and development. Ms. Angela Meyer said, "Do the best you can until you know better, and when you know better, do the best." We strongly believe that this is God's appointed time for Mountains of the Moon University alumni to contribute to the growth of their alumni meter. Appreciation. The interim committee would like to appreciate the administration, management of the Mountains of the Moon University, especially the officers of the DVC Finance, DVC Academic Affairs, the University Secretary, the Dean, and Academic Registrar for the guidance and support rendered that enabled the committee to reach this important milestone. We heartily appreciate fellow alumni for honoring this noble event and for offering valuable insights in the development of the Constitution. Undoubtedly, the Constitution would never have taken shape without the input from the real owners. And finally, allow me as the chairperson to extend special thanks to the interim committee members. Each member contributed unique talents and dedication to different activities throughout the convocation formation process. Every member's commitment, contributed, and teamwork has been profound and will be remembered in the history of the convocation. And to all stakeholders who contributed ideas, attended consultative meetings, and provided valuable feedback, this success belongs to you as well. I, on behalf of the committee, Msingi Kebo, thank you so much for your attention.
Okay, thank you so much, our chairperson, interim committee. Before you leave, I would like you to invite the interim secretary, who will take us through the overview of the Constitution. Yeah, to remind you shortly, we are moving with the new agenda that we adopted, and we have already moved up to agenda number 5. But to take you through, agenda number 6 is overview, and then number 7 will be reaction, discussion, and approval of the Constitution. Number 8 will be remarks from the DVC F&A, and then after that we shall have reactions to that remark. And then we shall finally have number 9, the speech, which will be from the chief guest, our VC, and finally closure. The others that I have not talked about up, we have already gone through them. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Before I invite my secretary or the secretary of the committee, there will be a small lunch, because not lunch actually, just a bite, because we're expecting to end this function before lunch time. So something small will be available, and a certain number of people also will be contacted individually. And at this juncture, dear alumni, staff, and the members in this podium, allow me to invite the secretary, who has done a tremendous job to help us make sure that he corrects each and every article to come up with this executive constitution. Emma Tesige, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chairperson, for that speech and that report. We recognize it, and we are happy that you gave it.
Thank you very much, Bob, for such a detailed report. And I would like to confirm that what Bob has read is actually what we have done as a committee. My name is Tosige Emmanuel. I'm an alumni of 2021, Bachelor of Community Development, and 2026 with a Master's in Public Administration and Management. And I've been serving on this committee as the secretary. And for those who have been interacting, we have been specifically on the issues of communication and this constitution. So I know we shared this constitution to most of you days ago, and we have not changed anything since the time of sharing. So my role now is to briefly highlight in a summarized form what this constitution is about and the key provisions in it, without specifically reading every detail. Maybe for university management who have not read this constitution, they can have a glimpse of what is in there. So in the constitution on page 4, it provides for interpretation of the key terms that were used in that constitution. And on page 5, it provides for the preamble and the affirmations of members of the convocation. So I'm going to summarize the articles, beginning with Article 1. Article 1 establishes the name and the legal status of the convocation. And by establishing the legal status, it is a public body which is established under Section 70, 1 and 2 of the Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act of 2000, which is also known as Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, CAP 262. Our convocation shall have perpetual succession. It means it will be continuous from one regime to another, and it will be located here, and it will have the legal authority to enter into contracts, manage funds independently, and also engage in activities that are independent. That is a summary of Article 1. Article 1 establishes the mission, vision, and the motto of our constitution, of our convocation, And I want to specifically read the vision and mission, which our brother Tugume John actually contributed in one of the feedback emails that he sent to us. Our vision is a professional community of alumni driven by community needs to achieve sustainable development. And our vision is to foster professional growth and support socio-economic transformation through strategic innovations and community engagement. Article 3 of our Constitution establishes so I think there was an oversight when I was quoting this. Article 3, no, I have it here. It's okay. Yeah. Article 3 highlights the objectives of the convocation, and Article 4 talks about the membership, who qualifies to be a member, and the categories of members that we shall have. And specifically, we proposed having ordinary members where all of us belong, and honorary members who will be recognized by the convocation, and corporate members who will be organizations and other institutions or businesses that have made exceptional contribution to the convocation. However, the law in section 70, subsection 1, says that these other membership categories, that is the honorary and corporate, shall be approved by the University Council. We only could be ordinary members, all of us here, but the other categories will be through the approval of the University Council. Article 5 of our Constitution talks about subscription and rights. And what this means is, much as we are all automatically members of the convocation, we may not access certain rights in the convocation unless we have subscribed. And of course, this meeting today I pray that we should also discuss what this subscription means and how much we shall be paying every year. So much as you're a member, but you'll not be able to access some rights unless you have subscribed. Article 6 of our Constitution talks about termination of membership. It highlights the process for someone who wants to voluntarily terminate their membership, and also the conditions under which your membership can be terminated. Article 7 of the Constitution highlights governance. So specifically, we have the executive and its structure, and also the representative of staff on the convocation. And our executive will be composed of 13 people, and the same article establishes the frequency and format of meetings of the executive, and also the tenure of the executive committee members. And I think, if I recall very well, our Constitution executive will be serving a maximum of 4 years, which can only be renewed once or elected once and never to come back. Article 8 of our Constitution establishes the collective powers and functions of the executive committee as a team. And Article 9 breaks these responsibilities down to the different executive members, from the president to the vice president to the general secretary to the deputy to the secretaries of finance, projects, information and publicity, and then female affairs. So their roles are highlighted under Article 9 individually. Article 10 of our Constitution establishes standing committees of the convocation, their structure and their roles, or what they will be doing. And in one of the consultative meetings, actually, is when we came up with the standing committees, where members suggested the Committee on Discipline, Committee on Finance, Committee on Projects, Information and Publicity, and Procurement. These ones are specifically highlighted in the Constitution, but we have a phrase that says this may not be conclusive. We can have many more in future. But members felt like these ones should be spelled out in the guiding document. Article 11 establishes the alumni representation to the University Council, who this person should be, how long they should serve, and the conditions under which they will be operating. Article 12 of our Constitution establishes conditions and procedures for resignation of convocation office bearers. And here we're talking about members of the executive and the representative to the council. If someone wants to resign, what process do they follow? What is the procedure and under what conditions? Article 13 talks about the vote of no confidence in the office bearers and also highlights the procedures for this and the quorum that will be, able to approve any vote of confidence in an office bearer of the convocation. Article 14 talks about the General Assembly, the Extraordinary General Assembly, and conditions under which these can be called. Specifically, it highlights the quorum for decisions to be taken in these assemblies and also procedures for calling for the General Assembly and Extraordinary General Assembly. This has to do with how many days, who calls this assembly for it to be legal. We've been discussing matters of, the law here. We have some people who will get maybe. Article 15 of the Constitution that you have explains the powers and functions of the General Assembly, and this has to do with what decisions they can take, the budgets, the work plans, the assets, monitoring and evaluation, name it. Many other functions are there. I just highlighted a few. Article 16 of our Constitution highlights the order of business of the convocation. And by order of business, we have different components: procedure for calling meetings, motions, which motions will be accepted or not accepted, and which decisions and under what conditions and procedures we can have these decisions and resolutions, and also provides for dissent, where a member feels like they don't want to associate themselves with a decision taken by the General Assembly, they can officially submit their dissent. And then Article 17 establishes quorum for convocation meetings and constitution amendments. So how many people are needed for a convocation meeting to start? And I think for those who attended consultations, we highlighted why members were questioning why the quorum is 30 people, and we gave reference to some of the benchmarking experiences we had that highlighted how it's sometimes difficult for members to come. So we used that to set our own quorum of 30 people for the convocation meeting to start. Article 18 talks about elections and electoral processes. How often shall we have elections? What is the procedure for organizing an election? And etc. Article 19 establishes the Electoral Commission of the convocation, and here we focused on the structure, the procedure for electing these people, and also the tenure. How long will they be in office? How many will they? And what will be their functions? Article 20 provides for finances and assets of the convocation. And this is where normally we pay close attention to who stands for our money, how often shall the money be withdrawn. If you read the Constitution, all these have been provided for. So we provide for convocation accounts, sources of revenue, how this money will be used, how often we shall be audited, and also what financial controls will be used as we use our money as a convocation. Article 21 establishes the Board of Trustees. We had a debate during the consultation meeting on whether we need a Board of Trustees or not. And I remember we had opted to remove the Board of Trustees, but when we subjected this Constitution to the legal review, the lawyer guided that if we want to be independent, if we want to have the power to enter into contracts and manage assets, we must have the Board of Trustees. I think one of the members shared the Constitution with comments from the lawyer on the group. Some of you could have come across it. So we established the Board of Trustees and the procedure for having these people on the convocation. Article 22 establishes the supremacy of our Constitution. What powers does this Constitution have as our supreme governing law of the convocation? Article 23 establishes procedures for amendment of this Constitution. Here it has to do with how many people can amend the Constitution and under what conditions and the procedure to follow. Article 24 highlights conditions in case this constitution conflicts with other national laws, what happens, what takes precedence, and all that. Article 25 of our constitution, which is actually the last article, establishes the discipline of members of the convocation. How shall we be expected to exercise our discipline as members of the same family? Ladies and gentlemen, our convocation has 25 articles and 2 schedules. Schedule 1 is on the oath of office bearers. I think it has the oath for the chairperson, the president of the convocation, the members of the executive committee, and the oath for the members of the electoral commission. And Schedule 2 establish the special tribute, and this one specifically pointed to the members of the executive committee who spearheaded this process of coming up with this document. So our prayer today is that we once again go through these articles and give our final input so that beyond now we can be able to call a constitution complete and fully legal to guide us in the next processes. Thank you very much. I remain Tracy Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much for that overview. I guess all the members have been following because this constitution is shared. The final draft is shared on the group. Thank you so much, Emma. Now, next on our agenda, maybe I would like to get it from our chairperson on the issue to do. You know, when you talk about something to refresh, you open up some kind of enzymes. I'm not an agriculturalist or biologist, but at least I understand that. So maybe a chairperson will be updating me on that. Now, we are going to agenda number 7, which is reactions to 5 and 6. That is the report from the chairperson, and then the interim committee report, and then the overview of the constitution. Then we shall take it together with the discussion and approval of the constitution. So with due respect, I invite all the members to attend to this agenda. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Please, members, I invite all of you to start discussing and give your reactions. I have been keenly following, people were noting down, so I'm very sure that we have enough comments and they will be addressed as we go on. Thank you.
Thank you, members, and good afternoon. My name is Derek Chibira. I'm a graduate of Bachelor's of Arts in Economics 2024. I thank the interim committee for the draft constitution so far. However, I request that we interest ourselves in Article 11 on page 13. Article 11 on page 13. It is talking of the representation on University Council. There is a clause that the representative shall be elected by the AGM, the annual general meeting, and he or she shall be an alumni who is not a full-time member of the university staff. I'm sensing some conflict of interest when we elect a member of staff who is not a full-time staff. How does the conflict of interest arise? Because as a convocation, we will have our demands to make to the administration. And this part-time staff, his or her dream is to be a full-time member of staff someday. What does it need? You have to appease your bosses. You have to appease the administration. But then, this side also, as the convocation, we are demanding. So how does such a person manage the conflict of interest? and how it is done in other universities in the Commonwealth countries, powers are vested in the chairperson of the convocation, because in the duties and roles of the chairperson, he or she is to be the link between we, the convocation, and the university administration. But when you have this outsider voted by the AGM, it means we will be putting in place a convocation executive which is powerless, which is ceremonial. So members, I request that we interest ourselves in that article and internalize it. We need to have a convocation that will work for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kibira. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you again. So I would like to guide the audience that we are actually caught up by time. But what we need to do, no, I'm not saying anything bad, but what I'm saying is that let's be direct to the point, and then we give opportunities to everyone to express their views.
Thank you very much. What I need to comment is, as you give your view, give your proposed position, so that we're able to capture it clearly here in the minutes, that we no longer want ABC, but DEF would work for us. Thank you. So you can go back for
thank you so much.
Proposal. Thank you.
Yeah, please. As guided, as you put your hand up, please be aware.
So members, my proposal is that this Article 11, we scrap it off the Constitution, we vest powers in the Executive Committee that we elect as the convocation, then from themselves as the Executive Committee, they can elect their representative to council. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I do concur with my brother, but still on the same article, perhaps in the proposal, we have refuted the idea of having, a separate person represent the convocation to the Senate. So in refining the proposal is that, could we have the powers vested into the chair or the president, I don't know, as per the constitution that is being formulated, that the chair be the one to represent the convocation, the other side of the staff. Over.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Yes, any other comment?
I'm with Patrick. Some of us are not on the platform, so we are finding it difficult to review the Constitution.
Okay, thank you. I hope the responsible person...
Some few observations I've seen. Number one, Article 8, cross L. The Constitution is saying that the Executive Committee shall have powers to interpret the Constitution to the convocation and other members outside. But to me, I see that is wrong, because it's like telling the government to be the one to interpret the Constitution, yet sometimes we expect there could be power excesses within the same government.
Amount of money totaling over 12 million invested in you to carry out consultation. Over 12 million invested in you to carry out consultation. If it is in the good of this meeting, can we institute an investigation team to investigate this interim committee to see how best they use this money? This is our convocation money, which we shall actually, when we come into power, we shall find you have misused this money. So we need to really to look into that. Then I really thank you people for coming up with this draft. But I have found out that even if we have this document, the people whom we instituted as interim lacked knowledge of law, and this is a law-abiding document. When they were introducing themselves, I had bachelors of what, degree, masters in this, business administration. This is a law. I would have loved, in terms of reference, if they had presented, it's because we are a population here, they would have put us on PowerPoint and say, this is how we went, and this is what we presented, and this is what we got. The secretary and the chair, we are reading the speech. We are here. We have, in the middle of the speech, we have sent the speech on the WhatsApp group. Can you imagine? A whole of this university, you say a speech is sent on your, check on WhatsApp. We are actually following here. We don't have your speeches. Even when you state figures, that's why I have 6.7, 6.4. I can't tell the figure. So I don't think that really what we are reading here is accurate and it is in the right order legally. Now let me go to articles in your presentation. Articles 7, 8, 9, 19 are inconsistent. They are inconsistent in a form that they don't capture deeply what should be done in regard to alumni. My recommendation, can we have an independent legal expert to look into this and purify this document? Article 11, it is having a lot of ambiguity. Can we also have a legal expert, whether paid by alumni, whether paid by the university on convocation money, or contributed by ourselves, so that we can streamline this? Article 14 of this draft constitution is completely legally redundant. If you read it, it is completely redundant.
Excuse me, the speaker. The team requests that you cite out the ambiguities that...
Let me take you to 14. Let's go to Article 14, for example. I don't know if everybody has it. The distribution was... Article 14, the General Assembly. It is on the General Assembly. The General Assembly, when you go to G, Section G, decision and resolution of an extra General Assembly shall be as binding as those of annual General Assembly and shall not be challenged in any other organ of the convocation except through competent courts of law or if preceded by the subsequent General Assembly. Here, where it is redundant, it would have been capturing on the quorum that in order to take a decision on this, a certain quorum should raise and say, we are not in support of this. Instead of leaving it redundant that the extraordinary General Assembly can make a decision and you find yourself in court. Why should we now get into court when we can settle matters on the ground? I want to finish, then I really leave you people to proceed. Then there is Article 17. Article 17. You can go there on Article 17. The 30 people. It is very, very beshame, ladies and gentlemen, to find a university that started its graduates 2008. You come up with a figure of 30 people to take a decision. 2008, we are in 1,000, and you sit here, 30 people, you make a resolution, and you close the chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, I am requesting my solution here is let's squash this draft. Have experts, if we are to invest money here, we invest, they get us a constitution that will govern us, and we see mountains of the moon moving forward. I beg submit.
Thank you so much for your submissions. The team was requesting that you keep citing those inconsistencies so that going forward, we are at least able to improve to your expectations. Thank you so much. If there is no any other, okay, there's one more here. Please do as requested, cite also those issues.
Thank you so much. I won't take so much of your time. I'm Baguma Siras, and I would like to support my brother's idea of discussing this thing one by one. We have a communication of the chairperson, and then we have the submission of the secretary. And I don't think that it's proper to have all these things mixed up. I want to imagine that it will disorganize the secretary who is noting down the minutes, and then we shall end up skipping other things. And then when we are done, for example, if we can first deal with the communication of the chairperson, and then we deal with the secretary's submission about the constitution, I would love that we be guided. We can flow article by article, because if I raise an issue on Article 20, somebody raises an issue on Article 1, another one on, I don't think it will be proper, and it is something that will disorganize the secretary. And then another submission is, one of us raised an issue of the absence of a legal representative or a university lawyer. And I want to imagine that we are discussing the Constitution. This is a binding document. I don't want to imagine that after this meeting, after we have approved the Constitution, then the university lawyer or some legal representative looks through it and says, this article was inserted and it contravenes with the other laws, maybe the Universities and Tertiary Institutions Act and something else. And we find that maybe that person has, of course, by procedure, to remove that article. And yet this meeting sat and approved that. And I would love that we consider having a legal mind here with us, so that we can ask questions. He gives guidance on the things that we are supposed to put, so that we don't waste time discussing things which at the end of the day will not make sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your submission. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, should we respond to the first questions or concerns, or I pick all of them? Okay, sorry, I've been guided that, like how members, it has been raised by very many members that it would be important that we react on the report first for the chairperson, and then if all that is resolved, then we can go to the Constitution faster. Okay, then you can guide.
We have started the journey and we have to end it. For the interest of time, in relation to what has been said, let us go through the Constitution first in a chronological order. In a chronological order, the draft Constitution in a chronological order. Then two is, my dear son, pay attention to all what is going, moving up and down. This is a serious thing. So, it is my humble submission that we move on in a chronological order, and let us first exhaust everything so that you answer them at once, except that take note of them. Then another thing is, it is my humble submission, if it means kneeling down, I can do it. I'm requesting the team to provide hard copy of this, because, as a point of reference, so that when someone speaks or when someone is doing something, he gets it from an empirical evidence. That's one. Two, the last one is, I'm requesting, in relation to what our dear, you wanted to salute me, but I don't have that capacity to do it. Jesus Christ started with few disciples, but ended up leaving the earth planet with few still disciples. But the whole world now has the clear picture. Yes, we are 30 people. it is my humble submission, my view is, if we would start with these few, we go with these documents, we continue adding on others, the thing will come out safe and stable. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy that the hard copies are availed to you. And to remind you that this is a draft constitution which is not yet approved. We couldn't waste resources, print out a number of copies that we are going to dump at some point. So we took it into consideration that we can have a soft copy, and then also after we have passed everything, then we shall have.
MC, protocol observed again. We started in the morning the journey to present and to uplift our universities. Our university, if now Mountain of the Moon is a public university and is still crying of resources, and we have a budget for this function, you are embarrassing us. You are embarrassing us. Back to my concern, we were at Fort Breeze. We discussed various points. This is the same way. We had soft things on our phones. But when someone could raise a concern, we could mark. But those things, nevertheless, they are not valid. They are not changing the constitution. The same how they were. I myself, if I raise a concern about representation at the University Council, and if someone gets either a contract of 6 months, over 1 year, or 2 years, because he will be in the system of the leadership of this conversion for 4 years, let him resign and another person comes in. What Mr. Kibera said, he will be compromised. You can't be having 2 supervisors on the same site at the different levels. What we are requesting is one, my submission. If you get a contract of 6 months with a university, where is the conversion better than to work with a university? You resign. At the beginning, Professor Edmond guided us. If we are crying for the legal team to be here, I remember he said we can go back to our homes and we get our lawyers. Sir, we can't bring lawyers to the public institution when we have come on the consensus to agree to uplift our university. What we know, the leaders, you have knowledge about law. And someone who is in charge of legal entities of the university is there and is paid by the government. He should have attended here and guide us. Because if I come to start guiding, that means my advocate will be paid, and which is not on the program and the budget of the conversion. What we are requesting is one. We are going to say many things at the end of the day. When another thing I'm recalling is when we left Fort Breeze for the consultative meeting, I remember in the WhatsApp group or in the email, people send various comments telling Mr. Bob, when are we having elections? The response from one of the interim people said, we are waiting for the legal team of the university to sign and read through. And when we received the invitation in the newspaper, we thought the legal team is ready. Why are you making a legal team or the lawyer of the university or the administrator in charge of constitution dodging this meeting? That means one time you are going to blame us. We did things in darkness. Secondly, issue of calling the president, the head of this organization, a president. I don't know. In the benchmarking you made, in other universities, you called it a chairperson, or it is us, Mountain of the Moon, to call him the president alone. Because it's going to cause some collision. The guild president, the conversion president. I seek for guidance. I submit.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. Members, allow me to chair this session of reviewing the Constitution and... Okay.
I think we are moving very well, but I would like to guide you. My colleague here mentioned my name. I think it's very important for you to quote properly what one has said. was not good to create words which is not proper. So kindly please listen, listen and listen. So listen, but also understand the message of the person who is speaking, so that you interpret it, and if you are challenging the message, you challenge it with the content knowledge required. That's my guidance. Number two, for us, we are coming here not to chair the meeting, not to dictate about the Constitution. We are here in our capacity as administrators of this institution to listen, but also we can offer our guidance. We can also offer our guidance. This document, or whatever we're discussing today, is still with you. So the chair interim committee, you seem to have avoided your work in guiding this meeting. I see my colleague is the one like chairing, but also that's why this colleague was saying you should settle down, because he's moving around and at the same time he's not capturing every comment that is given to internalize it and guide the meeting. So I'd like to guide, let the chair of the interim committee take up the responsibility of chairing this meeting and offer guidance systematically. Pick the comments, because for me I've already picked the comments. I can even offer the guidance on the way forward. But we seem to be whoosh. Then at the end of the day, we leave this place when we have not achieved our objective. It's not a must that by the end of this meeting, we must adapt to the Constitution. No, it's not a must. You know, this document has come to you. We need your feeling. We need your word. We need your contribution. Even if we had a lawyer here of the university, the lawyer could even confuse you the more. But you offer, like this gentleman here, I would like to suggest the following. Then the Secretariat will pick all those possible at an appropriate time. When you have the lawyer will be able to internalize everything and then say, maybe this is okay, this is not okay, this, you know. I think that's the direction they should do. See us take. A chair interim committee, take your responsibility of chairing this meeting. You're not chairing. Give us the direction. Number two, it's not a must that today we are going to adopt the Constitution. It's not a must. But your views are extremely very important to shape that document, so that eventually, maybe at an appropriate time, when we have another forum, we have a very good document. So to me, your comments are vital. They are very important. Nobody should begin derailing us or derailing you. Don't discuss, we need a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. No. Let's take the comments of every person who is here, who can contribute, so that eventually we're able to shape the document. I now hand over to the chair. I want the chair to chair the meeting. And my friend, you sit and wait, or maybe take the microphone around, let the chair chair the meeting.
Thank you so much, Professor. Okay, thank you so very much, our DVC. And I think, members, as he suggested, we are moving very well. And now I would like to guide, and this is how we are going to move. I'm following the suggestions that have come to start with the chairman's speech. And allow me to go through this, but the most important document here is the Constitution, or the draft Constitution. And I mentioned it is a draft Constitution. Therefore, allow me to answer, or maybe to respond to some of the comments that came from the speech. From my report. Actually, it's not a speech, but a report. I want to correct that one, because he mentioned it was a speech, but thank you so very much, but we call it a report. The draft Constitution, I have withdrawn that. If I mentioned that it's a Constitution, but no, it's a draft Constitution. Then The meetings, I am happy that the physical meetings, or one of the physical meetings, we had it at Fort Breeze, and I'm happy one of the participants attended. Actually, they are here, most of them. So the meeting was there, and it was open to each and every person. Then the issue of the money, yes, we couldn't do this thing or do any consultations without being facilitated. Yeah, we moved, and all the details are there. Accountability was done. To a university, yes, this is money which was used, and we can't deny it. But for today, I think if someone can come and mention it was misused, I think it's not really proper. But we'll take the opinion positively, because issues of finance, they are always taking a center stage in any organization. Referring to the lawyer, he has already mentioned it. We took this document through the university. We said the convocation actually is not separate so much from the university. We use the university lawyer, and we were guided by the university secretary, and all the comments that he gave were incorporated. These were adjusted according to his needs or according to the legal expert. If you read my report, I pointed out where he guided well, because we had moved so very well. On WhatsApp, I know today is, it's a current generation. When we are here, physical documents are here. If we really send a document to a WhatsApp and you can be able to read, I think it's in order, because you can be able to read, and if you don't utilize very well, the hard copies are here, and we apologize for not printing enough copies, but I think we did a great job. Allow me also invite if there is any other comment on my speech, so that we move direct to the constitution, of which I request my secretary will be able to guide well. Any comment on my report? Any other comment? I think.
Thank you so much, our dear chairperson. First of all, members, let us first give him flowers as we appreciate the presentation that he gave us. I really appreciate the write-up that you gave us in form of a report. And all other things moved on well, but the mode of delivery. You see, when we see things, when you see, you touch, you come to accept that this is that. I happen to be a teacher. When you illustrated that this here we were at Kabul and so on, and so, we didn't see that. That's why our dear brother, the other side, mentioned that it would have been very well if it would have been projected there, and empirical evidence would be visibly seen. So next time when you are doing, making that presentation, it will be better if people will see an empirical evidence and accept. That's why things have been moving up and down like that.
Thank you for that observation.
Finally, this one is guidance still. Our dear big man gave guidance on in relation to the other side. You see, I see an alumni, this group, as a subset of the university when we go to mathematics. So, in relation to these members, we cannot do things without guidance from elders. So it is my humble submission, my dear brothers and sisters here, that let us accept guidance from elders. That's why I withdraw, I personally, and on behalf of other followers who would wish to join me, that where we have gone wrong as children, you forgive us. I beg to submit.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Karatunga. Thank you so very much. Give the mic to the MC. MC, please take note. I want one person or two still on my report, if the issue is on the report. Thank you. Hand over the mic to. And remember, let's be as brief as we can because all of us here can understand faster.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Davis Kawe, graduate 2025. I just have a few things to put across as far from your report. One, we all account for events that we do, and it is normal that when we're accounting for an event that you've done, at the end of the accounting, the report that you make, you attach the receipts that we are given. If at all you had an event at Fort Breeze, I'm sure the manager Fort Breeze should have given you a receipt as proof of payment. That should have eradicated all the suspicious and the people that the suspect that is coming that you misused the money. So maybe in an event the next time we're going to have such a consultation meetings and you're going to present a report, I pray that we have those receipts. If people took per diem, they should have signed somewhere and maybe to eliminate things of doubt. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. I think people in accounting here actually take it positively. It's so good. And we did that thing you're talking about, accountability. We did it to the accounts office, and it was done like how you really pointing it out. Thank you. Any other person on my report, on the committee's report? Now, I take this opportunity also to invite comments from the. I think we move to the next on the constitution, correct? Thank you so very much. Now, this is the guidance the DVC was talking about. Now, we are going to move article by article. I will be helping my secretary here, and he wants to move to, on my report? Yes, before we come that further, I want to hand over the mic to the secretary, who will take us item by item. We go in a chronological order to avoid repetition, okay? Thank you so very much, and please bring the mic this side. We begin with him, or let's start with the secretary. Let him guide us on the same. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Members, before we begin reviewing, I just want to make one comment that this constitution was not developed just by us, the 7 of us. We made consultations, we made benchmarking from already existing convocations, and I think for those who came for consultations, we highlighted the fact that some of the provisions were from the lessons that we learned from convocations that are already existing. They made recommendations that we needed to follow if we are to avoid mistakes that they were noticing in their own convocations. And of course, we did not want to make a copy and paste from Chambogo, Makere, Kabal, and Mas. We needed to do something special. And we have always highlighted that it is within our power as alumni of MMU to decide how to be governed and how to govern ourselves. So if we feel like anything is not within our interests, this is the only time we have now to remove it or to amend it. The power lies within us. So we're going to go article by article. I may not read everything for the interest of time, but I know but I know at least majority of us, 90% of us here have access to this constitution, except for a few members who are not on the WhatsApp group. We sent out emails many times. So we're going to go with article per article. You give us what you think. If there's anything that is not clear to you or you feel should be changed, let us know. So we are beginning with Article 1.
I am not comfortable with the procedure. You know, when we are correcting a gap and we create another gap, I have never seen anywhere in the assembly where the work of the committee is being replicated in the assembly. Because what you are trying to tell us that we go committee work, this is what you as a committee is supposed to have done. 2, we realized that there was a gap in communication. And that gap has has raised some sentiments which wouldn't have been here. Now what we are doing the same thing. Tomorrow other people are going to come, but you are very few people, how did you represent us? So I have been hearing some people are saying a lawyer shouldn't be here. But then they go ahead also to make contribution as if they are lawyers. That already puts us at you are objecting something, but then you go ahead to do the very thing. Number 3, we have to make sure we understand the protocols. I hear people are referring to the university. It is as if the university is the one which is legitimizing this one. Under discussion, this is supposed to be handled by the alumni, then with the consultation of the university, and then hand over for the university to make their input. But now we are like saying the university, we have to be very cautious about it. So committee, I'd like to propose the following. 1, that this assembly becomes a consultative assembly, where people can make their submission, then also create another time, either online or through other media mechanism that people can submit their input. Then coming here and then they go bit by bit, then someone will stand and one article, subsection 2, then another lecture, then another lecture. Mind you, we are supposed to start this meeting at 10. Now it is already coming to 3. If we have to go one article by article, I don't think that will be realistic. So we are going to reach somewhere and start now wrapping up. We can't stay here until tomorrow. So I am proposing that this becomes a consultative session. Just submit where your point of view. Committee, put it down. Make more consultations and create another forum where we can submit ours. Personally, I'm a little bit lame because I didn't read this one, and I feel a bit uncomfortable to make submission when I'm not informed. And that is what happens when people have not read or have not internalized it. They start now the journey from everywhere. So that, Chair, you don't have to respond to the comments. You just have to receive them, have the catalog of the comments, create a forum for us to make more comments. Then you as a committee sit down. But we cannot come in the assembly to start now deliberating on an article, then we are doing duplication and we're not making any fun. I hope that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Father. And I think you will go by the Father's guidance. So we receive the submissions and maybe comments. Yes. You take the mic to, okay, the ladies first.
Okay, thank you so much. Me, I'm going to talk about 2 things. One is Article 12. Article 12, Clause C, which says, in the event of the vacancy of the Executive Committee arising from A and B above, the Executive Committee shall appoint an eligible member of the committee to serve temporarily in that capacity until the next general elections are held. Then, when we go to Article 14, Clause A, which is giving the executive 4 years in power, and Article 17, Clause C, which suggests that the General Assembly should be annual. So, according to me, if someone has resigned in the first year, should the committee appoint that person until the next 3 years? That's 1. 2. It is the General Assembly that gives powers to the Executive Committee. Why should the Executive Committee appoint someone, yet they are saying this person will have submitted to the General Assembly? So as the General Assembly agrees, like the 2/3 of the General Assembly agrees this person, like vote of no confidence from this person, let the General Assembly itself appoint someone to sit in that seat until the next election. Then that's One, when we go to Article 17, Clause B, which says that the quorum of 30 people, MMU has had graduates of like over 5,000. So 30 people cannot come to decide for 8,000. So I also request we raise that at least maybe to 100 or something, but the 30 is too less. And also that clause, I also request let the General Assembly take powers of appointing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe sorry, I was about to call you honorable member. Colleague who submitted, I think you quoted wrong articles for your first submission. You quoted Article 14 and Article 17, and what you talked about does not exist in those articles. But maybe for guidance on Article 17 on the quorum of 30, that is the last submission, which is correct, but the first two submissions were wrong. I have the Constitution. So the last submission you made, quorum of 30 does not mean that the meeting will be comprised of 30 people. That is the number of people that should be present for the meeting to begin. And from the benchmarking exercise, Makerere has a quorum of 50 people. Makerere has tens of thousands of alumni. But the fact is, sometimes it is hard to gather people. So 30 people would be a good number for us to start. Look at the example of what we have today in this meeting. If we were to wait for more than 30 people, how long would it take for us to begin?
Mine was a different submission, and I really appreciate whatever is transpiring here. Thank you so much for this good work done. Before we go into the details of this constitution, I wanted us to first look at page 1. What does it state there? It's like all what we are discussing is not going to be put in place because it's already reading the word final. Do you all observe that? 2, it's not even stating that this is a draft constitution. And in some presentations here, I heard very well saying that it was already submitted for the legal team to look through, and then from the feedback of the legal team, they gave you the feedback, then you amended, and then we are just having a discussion of what has been looked through. So if it is reading final, please assure me that what we are discussing is going to be changed.
What are you proposing?
My position is on this is we have to first withdraw it as a constitution as it is stating, but should be made a draft, and then we suggest that it shouldn't be called the final. Then it becomes submitted for discussion. Thank you.
That is the reason why we are here. Right from number 1, as you have mentioned, it has been called constitution, but it was corrected that it's a drafted constitution. Then 2, we are starting from level 1 up to the last to put things right. And if I quoted our dear Reverend Father very well, he said that let us call this one a consultative team, so that we start from Genesis, we will reach the other side. Tuongere kugamba kagamba batoro bagamba ngu abebemberwa abakuru ezebemberwa abakuru tizata bwato mazire nyo kwazi.
Mr. Mkonyezi, before I allow you to give the mic to another person, please let your hand pass here, okay? Okay, I bring the mic here. I want to give our elder 1 minute because he has been here for long. He has observed a lot. Thank you, VC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen. I greet you all, and I'm heartened that we are having a very meaningful discussion. I have one observation to make, and I think the spirit of this conversation, that there was an agenda shared and also popularized. A notice was sent on New Vision, and the agenda here says we stop at some hour. So I wanted to propose that we get an end time tea, because we can't be here endless. I've seen a priest here is running away for a wedding. I have some things to do, you have things to do. So now that we've agreed this is consultative, my view is we can agree at time T we end. You give views. I have also had some views, by the way, from your conversations, and my colleague was asking me what's our value. Our value is to listen, to offer guidance. The Constitution is yours. And therefore, let's agree that we are giving these views, but it has to end at some time. And maybe, Mr. Chair, you still open up this forum and possibly to respectfully, Mr. Tukume, is that electronic medium of communication should be acceptable, so that we receive documents and also you agree timelines. We give these views, people make proposals after you refined at a certain time T by 5 p.m. in a certain date. If you don't hear anything, the presumption is that we are in agreement. Then you can progress to the next level. So I'm just regurgitating that from now, which is almost 3 o'clock, when do we end? I think we close at 3, and then we can reconstitute another time. That's my request. I thank you.
Thank you so much, VC. Members, I think he has given us a very good guidance. And I now receive other suggestions on top of what you have already submitted. And before that, I want to request that the platform we have, we make it official in this gathering. The WhatsApp group, which is which has a bigger number of the alumni, over 1,000. Can we pass a resolution that other subsequent communications, we shall be using that group? Okay. For discussion. Give the mic again. Any other thing? Because actually we want to receive now submissions, changes, and so that by 3 we are able to complete. WhatsApp group, can we take it as official or we don't? Because he has guided that let's accept electronic mode of communication. How many are saying yes? Can we all agree? Ati, we want to finish this one. Is it on the same? Members, can we accept that that WhatsApp group should be adopted? Thank you so very much. Yeah. We want to encourage, this meeting has accepted that WhatsApp group should be our official, one of our official communications, and those who are not there should be added. Should be electronic. We're accepting electronic communication. Yes?
WhatsApp is closed now. So we can't add more people on that WhatsApp. Can you also add the emails on this?
Yeah, that is electronic we're talking about. Thank you so very much. Submission.
Where should I start from,
receive,
Chair?
give him.
Colleagues, I greet you once again. As our DVC has said, I quote him for today, delay means decay. But this is not accidental, it is intended. I can ask our elder, he has been a member of Alumni. When was your last time to have General Assembly? You cannot tell. The university now is having 5 years, as it's said, 5 years, complete years, as a public university. But all these meetings, they have been coming under pressure. On 13th April 2026, academic registrar wrote the members of the public, to be specific, alumni, informing them about this program to dissolve the steering committee, 1. 2, to adopt the constitution for further engagement at university council. Sadly, to have elections. but was on surprise on 13th April. The academic registrar sent a letter that was backdated to be of relevance. Academic registrar informing colleagues about the changes of this constitution. I would like to inform the members of authority for this university. I traveled from somewhere. These members traveled from somewhere. They are not fixed members of these communities. And whatever is happening is not accidental, but it is a planned move. I would like to interest you colleagues who have been graduating. There is 20,000 as convocation fee, but it is unfortunate colleagues are not aware about that 20,000. And again, they are guiding. Let this meeting be a consultative meeting. How many times I got to sit for consultative meetings? In the academics registrar letter, she said 2, that's top university management, with a guidance from the university lawyer. They have guided, this is a document that will be adopted, the steering committee be dissolved, and we present the document to the University Council for the approval. Therefore, I beg, we dissolve the steering committee, we task the university to present whatever they want to present. Otherwise, we are going to use other channels for communications to have better accountability, better representation for this university. You cannot have university for 4 years without a full composition. You cannot have such university at University Council, no composition. I would like to interest our colleagues. For the 4 years, the alumni are not involved in university activities, and of which it's not by request, but it's a policy. Universities and Tertiary Institutions Act guides for the formation of the convocation. We are not here for the mass of the university, but it is a guarantee. I beg to submit.
Thank you so very much. No, the mic, you are not supposed to give the mic to any person before I give it to you.
This is important. This is important. This is important.
And the reason we are here to make sure that our constitution guides on whatever we are talking about. And it is this meeting, yes, this is a government institution, and I understand, ladies and gentlemen, democracy is in process. Okay, give him the mic.
Accept members to receive guidance.
As you can be brief, Mr. Karatunga, be brief.
Bwana Chair.
Yes.
Don't make my point evaporate from me.
Mr. Karatunga, the team,
like
we have resolved that at 3 we close. We appreciate, we receive your guidance in good faith. Just go on, then we save time.
First of all, I'm requesting my brother to withdraw some statements because some words, when they are voiced out, they cannot go back. It's too early to say that we do what? We dissolve. That cannot happen.
Thank you.
Then two, let us follow the procedures as we've been directed. So it is our humble submission that we move on. Let us follow the procedures. I beg to submit.
We are receiving comments from the Constitution, please. Yes. Any different from what he communicated? Okay, give him the mic. Actually, members, whatever we are doing, it is for the benefit of we. Whether we delay or do what, it's we who are going to solve this problem. Okay? Yes.
God is good all the time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Birijiji Siraj. And the one thing that I want to put across is that either we are not taking on the guidance that we are receiving from the different elders who are standing up to guide us. Because we have said, the elders have stood up and said, if there is any mistake that you have identified today in the Constitution or in any area, note it down, and your submission should say, I have identified this, this should be the solution.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Mr. Mkonyezi, get the mic.
Actually, why I'm saying this, I have a lot of pain. We have been, your committee has been inviting people to come and participate in the formulation of these documents, and they have been claiming to be too busy with their own tasks. Now today we are here to discuss something that is making us move forward. They are bringing us backward. The issue of dissolving the committee, you cannot dissolve the committee today because they are still accountable to us.
Thank you so very much. I think we resolved that. Members, I think now let's, if it is on the constitution, yes, more. Let's get from the deep state. Mr. Tugume, I'm corrected here. Mr. Tugume, thank you.
Yes, I'm going to Article 7 and Article 19. For the good of our convocation, I'm requesting, as we progress in the formulation of this constitution, that when you look at the Article 19(5), the commissioners from amongst the alumni, one of whom shall be from postgraduate programs. I thank the committee for recognizing that. But I also go to Article 7. If that one can also be incorporated in Article 7, that anybody may be, to lead us as alumni should be having a minimum of certain qualification, so that we can also match as tertiary institutions. Otherwise, interim, take your time, organize this paper. Even if it takes 5 years, we are with you.
Members, I want us to vote on this. On all, whatever you people are suggesting, because if you say we need someone from masters and some people from masters may not be interested to lead the convocation, can we vote for that? Okay, my colleague here wants to say something.
By the names of Asawa Eli, and I want to make a little communication. We are taking down minutes, and everyone is speaking their own words. We are not coming to conclusion on certain articles. So my guidance would be like this. Like a certain lady there has suggested, saying that a certain article has a problem like this and this of election and so forth and so forth. Let us take this one as the quorum. As we had said, we have no quorum today. We agree that in our constitution, according to the members present, even according to the register, this is what we agreed on, basing on this article. We vote for it, we go with it or refuse it. Because we shall not come to the conclusion at the end of the day, even if we made several consultations.
Let's vote on the issue of qualifications. Where were you talking about specifically? On the president or on any qualification or any position?
What we are giving is to give you time to look at whatever we bring in, to analyze and treatment. We cannot make a resolution of some people, we cannot make a resolution on behalf of others. No, we made them and they were refused.
The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, still I want to resolve here. Let's vote at least on that article which he has just mentioned, because if you say this, then another team will come and say we cannot agree on that. Can we agree or disagree that in the leader or the chairperson must be having a certain qualification? Which qualification, to be specific? Hello? We want to finalize on this, because we shall keep on repeating ourselves. Members, should we vote or we change? Because we want to resolve on this, because you are going to keep on discussing on the same. Let's resolve the lead.
Welfare Committee, whose chair is a retired High Court judge. Similar issues came on the eligibility of academic staff. Must we push the level higher? It took us back into what the constitution of the country says. At the moment, for someone to be president, what do they require? Senior 6. So be cognizant of that. I just want to advise, the choice is yours.
Thank you so very much. I think that one is resolved, members. We maintain the article in the Constitution. Any article, any other, I want to give a chance. Any article, let's have him. You can speak as the mic comes.
Article 11, clause B, should be scrapped off.
11 clause B, what does it say? Read.
A representative in A above shall be armed from who are not full-time members of staff of the university.
So representative, you are saying shouldn't be a staff of Mountains of the Moon University?
Either full-time or shouldn't be any from the university.
What are you proposing?
I'm proposing we scrap it off.
Who qualifies to be the representative?
Who qualifies to be the representative?
Who shall not be a university staff. Yes.
We remove that.
Yes.
Member of the convocation must not be a staff of Mountains of the Moon University.
The heading reads representative to the university council.
Yes.
You get that person shall not be, to me, shall not be a full-time nor short-time member of the university staff. You get?
I think you're right. That's what I'm talking about.
I hope it is captured.
So we have resolved, I think, that I want us to resolve members.
Before that one, over that issue, when you
We are resolving, members. We are resolving. We are running short of time. We are resolving this one. So the representative, we have accepted he shouldn't be a staff of Mountains of the Moon University. Part-time or full-time? So shouldn't. We have resolved on that. Thank you. Next. Give the mic to him.
Thank you so much for that resolution. Then I'm suggesting that since we have also the guild constitution, like most of you have been guild leaders here, we have the constitution that says the guild president shall be the representative of students on the university council. If we also have the convocation and it has a chairperson or the president, let that person continue to be the what? To be the representative of the convocation.
Thank you so very much.
Yes.
We did not want, the fact is, to duplicate each and everything. And that's how we came up with the new title to be the president instead of the chairperson. And if, anyway, you can add.
When we were benchmarking, this is the guidance we got, that the title, the position of the chairperson is a very busy office. And the benchmarking exercises at Chambogo specifically and Kabale recommended that if we are to have effective representation and conducting of activities, we need to separate the roles of representation from the president, because this office is extremely busy and some decisions are not transmitted to the council in time. And that's why we came up with that provision. And the representative to the council is an ex-official on the executive meetings.
Some guidance.
Again, I'm here to give guidance, if you allow. The person you send to council from the convocation is under section 38G of the law. They have to be elected from the General Assembly. You can't just delegate. You can't just make anyone else. General Assembly. So they have to be elected. 38G, you read that.
And in our constitution, that person is supposed also to be elected along with the executive, which will be for that convocation. Any other? I want to roll. Okay, give him the mic to speak. Because actually we have gotten some good guidance here. Hopefully you supplement. Thank you.
I'm very happy, and at a certain point we were asking ourselves, did you actually go for benchmarking or they were radio calls? One, being a chairperson for the convocation, you are being voted. You have a responsibility. Having a member at top university, at University Council, that is a supreme organ for the convocation. But you are not an executive member of the executive. What are you going to present? And remember, on roles of the president or chairperson is to represent the university to all the structures in the university, to represent alumni or structures of the university. Therefore, with colleagues, I move a motion or I move a request. Let us trust that person who will be a chairperson at a certain point. As you see the good president having many responsibilities, but you have a role to play at University Council. And I'm very happy I was a good president in this university, and you are a chairperson for transition. I was there to represent students' matters. And at the same time, we had a chairperson for the alumni who had represented the university for more than 9 years, who has represented the alumni. Therefore, I move a motion, we vote for the matter, let us have the chairperson for the convocation, be a representative to University Council. You will be voted, not delegated. Thank you.
I have another comment from here. Bring the mic here. Mr. Mkonyezi, today you have to run because you are an alumni and we must resolve on this. Yes, Mr.
Thank you so much, Chair. For the interest of time, I will not go to protocol. But I would like to inform the current speaker that we have a distinction between executive leadership and governance. So that's why we must have those two separate. For the issues of accountability, for the issues the chair might be overwhelmed with very many activities. Therefore, we must have an ex-officio who should do that representation. And I happen to be on several boards other than this, whereby I'm a member of the Allied Health Professionals Council. We have the board chairperson as well as the representative to the council. When you borrow a leaf from the government leadership, you find we have a chairperson LOC5 and a member of parliament. So therefore, we must also separate those roles if we are to move effectively and if we are to effectively be represented on the University Council. I beg to submit.
Yes, the truth is we want our issues as a convocation to be fully represented by a special person who will be concentrating him or herself on the issues of the convocation to the University Council. I want us members to vote on this. Okay, first academic registrar, then from his
thank you very much, colleagues, and far we have gone. Yeah, when I was studying, they told us that when you get confused, you are learning. That's what they normally say.
Thank you.
But we are moving on very well, ladies and gentlemen. Let us relax. We are moving on very well. But in whatever we do, as Arian mentioned, we should not go against the law. Whatever we do should be within the law. Therefore, before we argue so much, a lot of English and everything, what is the law saying? We have the law which is here, and we shall never ever go against the law. This is the University and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, Cap 260 or 2001 for those who are having the old version. What is it saying? And there is nothing we can go against this act and we think we are moving on. It is saying, and we must, whether we like it or not, we shall see how we can perhaps have the other lawyers also interpret. But this is what it's saying. The university, on the University Council. Article 38, subsection, or we can check on G. A member of the council shall be composed of a member of the convocation elected by the convocation. So they are not saying the chairperson. Let us be clear, because whatever we do, they will be challenged by law. You will say, okay, the chair should be, but someone will say, no, it's not the chair. It has to be the law. So this is the act. Maybe if you want to quash the act, that's what we can maybe say. But this is the law. It shall be a member of convocation elected by the. So therefore, it's actually not even saying the executive, but by the convocation, meaning that the convocation, like a general assembly, if they say that we have voted the chair to lead us, I think the law will be protected by the law. Okay, if they say we want Siraj is the one different from the president, still will be under the law. Let us really follow the law. Okay.
Thank you so very much, academic registrar and members. I want to inform you, we made a lot of consultation through all these, and that is an act which is supreme to the constitution we are making. Therefore, members, I want us to resolve, can we have a separate person to represent us on the council? The constitution has already ruled it out. A person will be elected separate, but with the in the general assembly. Yes. Yes, that person might be the chairperson, but elected by the general assembly. Thank you. So we maintain. Thank you. Can you repeat the guidance?
It was simple. If the convocation says, this is our leader who will represent us, that is the person who will be eligible for representation. That is clear. Not the president. If they say, the convocation says the General Assembly and say for us, we have agreed anonymously, the president shall be our representative. That will be the president. If they say the president is too busy, let another person, Chivira, be the representative, then that will be the president and it will be minuted. So that is the law. Okay? That is how it is.
Okay, what do we go for our constitution? Because for us, we have it clear here. Members, we are guiding again. I mean, we are being guided. He has read our constitution. He says it is clear. He says it is clear. Can we resolve on this, members? Let me hope the concern is not on this, because the constitution says it is clear. Okay. There shall be, our constitution is saying, there shall be a representative to the University Council elected from amongst the convocation members at an annual General Assembly. Clause B, we removed it. You get it? Thank you so very much. We have resolved. So a person will be elected on that day. Thank you so very much. Let's move on. Any other concern on the article? Hello? Could you take the mic there? Members, be mindful of time. We have taken a lot of time, and this is just consultative. The rest of the items will be sent to our official platform as we react on the same. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Protocol observed. My name is Julius Nasasra, Bachelor of Arts with Education, class of 2019. Welcome everyone here. My motion is being moved on Article 9, the roles and responsibilities of the committee members. When you read and digest on the rules of the committee members, there is nowhere you can find the person who is responsible or who is a custodian of our constitution, and which is the legal document that will be guiding us. Two, on the Article 10, on the standing committees, in regard to my submission regarding the Constitution, I would propose that we have a committee for Constitution and Justice Affairs, which will keep our Constitution safe to avoid individual interests of the leaders. Then on the Article 18, on the Article 17, on elections and Article Clause B, we see that the Electoral Commission may, it is stating that it may provide other technologies to cater for the online voting or electronic exercise as in voting, but to me, I suggest that it should be stated as shall. It should be confirmed that those people who are not here, who are not in this community, they can access data provision of voting for leaders, because we don't have people who are within. And then, as we are being innovative, as one of our objectives, let us be innovative and make everything almost be accessed electronically, because we see as the numbers that are here, they are too limited to make decisions. So if we can provide electronic means that can give all the alumni the platform and chance to participate in these activities, it would be better. Thank you so much. I submit.
Let's give him a hand clap. Thank you so very much. And on your issue of voting, I think we can change that word to shall, okay? That is very good observation. Then the custodian. I think if we have executive, the custodian must be the chairperson of the convocation. Academic registrar is the secretary who keeps all our documents. Even that's what we have. Even academic registrar's rules, duties and responsibilities, that is one of them. I think it's there clearly in the Constitution, okay? Thank you so very much.
The chairperson has not spoken about one thing, the Justice and the Constitutional Affairs as a committee. I don't know if we should add it there, or we look at the other clause which says that the executive can bring other committees.
Thank you so much. The Constitution is, maybe it can come after a certain period of time. I think that's when we can set a committee, because the executive is given the mandate to put any other committee as the law may abide or when it is required, because that mandate is there on the duties of the executive. What we're supposed to do, we can elect any other committee, not only Constitution and the rest, but we can constitute because it comes from the executive. Members, I think we have 14 minutes, and within those minutes, we have 2 speeches. I have the gentleman first, because the lady has been submitting. If you can be brief.
Yes, I'm going to be very brief. Number 1 is that I'm looking here at chapter 8, clause L, and the gentleman has guided that our constitution needs to be protected. And so I was advising that since we already have 2 members on the executive committee whose roles are not stipulated, can we have one position be given to a person responsible for the constitution, who will now chair the committee on justice and constitutional affairs that will come from there? Then 2,
which members? Because the executive has the powers to choose any member of the committee to be the chair, and it should be the person from within the executive.
Yes, it is okay.
Thank you.
Then Article 8, clause M. There is this clause that is saying that the executive committee shall have powers to terminate membership rights of any member of the convocation on disciplinary matters. This is what I said, that we cannot allow an executive committee to sit down and then decide on which person should have membership rights or not. That would be very dangerous, especially to people who have opinions that don't go with the opinions of the
some clearances here. Thank you.
If you went ahead to read that same article that you have quoted on 8M, it refers you to in accordance to Article 12 and 25, which is Yes, 6, 12, and 25, which is through the disciplinary committee and the General Assembly or the alumni. There is a process to terminate that. It is after everyone has agreed, then we come to a conclusion that this one should surely be put aside.
Members, I'm happy that we are about to adopt this constitution with amendments, and I give a chance that Almana, okay, that lady for that matter.
Thank you so much. For me, my name is Sylvia Virungi. I just want to read a few things. Article 7, clause C says.
Before you go ahead, I want, ladies and gentlemen, before you read, you select one item. First read ahead and see, because some article leads to the other, subsection leads to the other. So you can go on.
Okay, it says, members of the executive committee shall serve a tenure of 4 years and shall be eligible for re-election to the executive committee, but shall not serve for more than 2 terms. Then, clause 14, Article 14. Article 14, clause A says, members of the convocation shall constitute a general assembly, which shall be convened at least a year to discuss and decide on matters relating to the convocation and oversee the functions of the executive committee. So this brings me to what I want to talk about, which is Article 12. So I don't know when the secretary was defending this, if I'm having a different constitution other than what he's having. But these two articles and the clauses that I've read are the ones that are bringing me to Article 12, which I talked about, which says, Article 12, clause C, which says, in the event of the vacancy on the executive committee arising from A and B above, the executive committee shall appoint an eligible member of the committee to serve temporarily in that capacity until the next general elections are held. That's what I was talking about. Why should the committee appoint, yet it was the General Assembly that gave powers to this person? And B is very clear. In case of the vote of no confidence, it has been the 2/3 of the General Assembly. So after stripping powers from this person, why can't that real General Assembly do the needful, to bring back the person, another person that should sit in this seat? That's aside. This is out of the Constitution. I just request the steering committee that we have, stop being too defensive when we are submitting. At least, because it is very clear that you are telling us you benchmarked, and we also see your efforts and we appreciate, because this is not an easy job. But stop being too defensive, because we are also submitting what we are seeing. Thank you.
No, we are not being defensive, but we are just responding and actually clarifying. Hopefully it is clear, but we're not defensive. That is another perception, but some clearance here.
Thank you very much. On the benchmarking and discussion of these articles in replacement of office bearers, we saw that elections are expensive to carry out. That is why we came with these articles that a person in the executive, if they lost their office, a member of the executive can come in to replace that position until the next election is held. So that's how we came to the conclusion of those articles. I don't know if members, we see that we have to come again and elect, like they do for by-elections. We come again and elect if an office bearer loses office. We can also elect, yes? Then we have to agree on that, then we come to a conclusion.
We normally have an electoral commission, and the Constitution stipulates how elections should be done, ladies and gentlemen, isn't it? So if you say that every person that, if the vacancy falls vacant, then you again bring the electoral commission with resources and the rest, then they do another election. Do you think it can be possible? The General Assembly sits, but should we say that if there is any vacant, any General Assembly can elect another person? on the next General Assembly. Because we are saying, listen to this, because the vacancy may fall in March, but elections are in December. So during that period of time, who will be taking the responsibilities of that person? Some guidance,
Chair,
yes.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you so much, Osbat. Thank you, everyone. I have understood her point very well, and it is very pertinent. Now, for me, my guidance is, in your constitution, you should include something. That's what she's suggesting, that instead of saying until the next election, the executive can appoint someone but be confirmed by the General Assembly in the subsequent sitting.
I didn't hear that word confirmation, actually. She was thinking of elections. Then I think we adopt that.
So that this person is responsible to the General Assembly.
You have clarified it so much. Members, can we go by that? We go by that. Thank you so very much. Members, we agreed that we stop at 3. Members, term of office. Maybe I want members, let's have 2 responses before this gentleman leaves. We want them to be witness that, because this is not final. This is not final. These are consultations, and we have set a platform whereby all responses will be coming, will continue to flock in until we further make communication. We can continue. Okay. Let's take the mic to Agawa.
Members, let's have term of office reviewed. But before we review that one, we can look at also 17. I don't know the decision we took, Article 17, which was raised by me and that lady. 17 on quorum. Now that we are switching to the modern communication, which will involve WhatsApp, email, and others, let's raise the quorum. Let's not take a decision of 30 people. Let's be at least 2,000 people. Because people will be online. Because we are about 80,000. Why are we having 30 people?
Members.
That's my suggestion.
That is his suggestion.
Then lastly.
But we clarified on this. Members, we clarified on this, and I want us to come to a consensus. We gave a background why we selected or we chose to have 30 people as the quorum. And having 30 people, it doesn't mean that we are going to continue with only 30 until the meeting ends. The 30 people is just to start the meeting. You get it? Not to say that there will only be 30 people to make resolutions, but to start it, not to wait for people. You know, sometimes people come and assess the situation or make calls. How many people are there? They are 15, they are 30. Then they don't come. So we are suggesting, let's have 30. We start with 30, but we start the business.
Chair, I'm still on microphone. Chair, you are talking of 30. Like the way you are bringing it is very clear. But you will not be there. That we agreed that if 30 are around, we need to make it very clear.
I want to make the work easy for the executive.
Okay.
Actually, that is the most way how you can make their work easy, because they may come here, they don't realize the quorum of 80, and the business collapses. We have paid, like what we did, we paid for food, but people didn't turn up.
Yes. Colleagues,
some supplement here. I think we are clear with that.
Yes, let me conclude with the term of office. Members, I'm requesting to shift the term of office from 4 to 3. So that you take, if somebody leads, takes 3 years, another team comes in, until, everybody brings his capability in the university. That's my thinking.
Thank you so much. Members, can we adopt 3 years? Can we put on voting how many years should the executive serve? 3? Those who are saying 4 years? 4 years. Those who are saying 3 years? Okay, one person. So we maintain the 4 years. Some response here.
Mr. Chair, I wanted to rectify on the issue of the quorum. As per the Constitution, people who are recognized as members are those ones who have fully paid the subscription fees. Now, if you say that you want the quorum to be of 2,000 people, and it so happens that it is only 30 that have paid subscription fee, then what becomes the fate? So I'm also of the opinion that let us maintain that 30, and the good thing, the Constitution is open for amendment. As we move forward, then we can amend and change to what we want according to that time that we shall be going for.
I think he deserves a hand clap. Thank you so much, Mr. Kagaba. And the 30 members, actually, it's a bigger number. We told you Makerere has 50, and it's an institution that has existed for many years. So the 30, it's even a bigger number, and because we consider the people who have subscribed to be members. Yes. These people have gone, ladies and gentlemen. I want us now to complete this constitution. Yes, take the mic to that gentleman standing.
Thank you, the Chair. I'm happy that the Academic Registrar's Office, they guided us using a document. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I appreciate. There is a concern here on Article 18, where they are saying elections and procedures. I'm not seeing any procedure, how the Electoral Commission body is coming into the system. Are we going to pick people randomly? These people are going to apply which procedure, which level, which experience. I'm not seeing Electoral Commission coming well. The only thing I'm seeing is about the chairman and his team, the executive. But the body, Electoral Commission body, I'm not seeing it well.
I think refer to Article 19. Refer to Article 19. C in particular. Because actually we said before you discuss, first read the subsequent articles, I mean subsections.
Yes, I have
read it. C, D, and the rest, all of them are talking about the same. That's how we shall be coming up with the Electoral Commission.
You mean on that day, those people, because we are seeing the Electoral Commission will receive the application forms or the document about the people of executive. On that day, on the General Assembly, when we elect, we shall not have the executive elected. That means it should be
18G. Article 18F, Article 18G and H, they provide those procedures.
Are you comfortable? Before you come, we shall give you the mic. Are you comfortable? 18. If the Electoral Commission of the Convocation shall issue all members a notice of vacancies on the Executive Committee and representative to the University Council at least 30 days before the expiry of the term of office of existing office bearers. I think that's what you wanted. Then H. Any member seeking election or re-election shall fill and submit nomination forms to the chairperson of the commission at least 14 days before the date set for election. Any candidate shall be nominated not less than 2 members eligible to vote. I think it's okay.
The process, the initial one, not the one which will be continuing in other. This one is all about the one which is proceeding. We need the initial one. Because we have interim committee of viewers.
Mr. Paul, we understand you very well. Now that we have not yet got this constitution, what comes next is after we have had the constitution, it is the Academic Registrar's Office that shall be in charge of the Executive Committee. These people will go according to this constitution of how it is. 30 days, 20 days, or 14 days, accordingly. The Electoral Commission will then call the executive. So we have to come here like twice or thrice to have an executive in place.
And really, we cannot proceed without the Electoral Commission. And I think, give us the mandate. We have noted the observation. Give us the mandate as the interim committee. We shall communicate. I'm going to give him the mic.
Yes, colleagues, I beg for your attention. On this same subject, the purpose why we are here today is to adopt the Constitution. When we adopt the Constitution, the University Chancellor, the VC, will take the Constitution to the University Council to adopt the adopt the Constitution. After adopting the Constitution, it will be a legal document to manage the convocation. Then immediately, we are going to discuss the VC. Within at least 14 days, the academic registrar will write to the colleagues, to the college, which is convocation, informing them, people who are interested to run for electoral commission for the preparations of the convocation should apply and should guide on the procedures. And that's all the same matter. I'm going to the colleagues. If we are to move forward today to have a successful convocation, as our colleagues, they knew the procedures, today we dissolve the steering committee.
That one has been rejected because the committee still has a lot. Because that one we can't do.
My brother, first listen. We are here. The moment we don't have the university fully managed, now if academic registers go to write to the convocation, inviting them, what is going to be a role? Today we are going to adopt the Constitution. What else are you going to do? Yet it is a role for the academic register. I beg to submit. If you don't do this, dear colleagues, the convocation, the government is going to send money, to convocations. The moment we don't have the convocation, next financial year, which is going to start in July, I can assure you these games which are being paid by university and other colleagues who are being managed, our alumni are going to miss up. And the convocation is honor too that all of our colleagues to have money that can support them. I'm a civil servant. I don't qualify for graduate fund, but we want to support our colleagues. Therefore, for today, let us dissolve. Then we have the university being responsible. Otherwise, within the shortest time, we are going to take illegal actions because this is a brand game.
Thank you.
Also, Mr. Chairperson, through you. Also, but let me speak something. What we need to understand is the interim committee's intention is to have the convocation in place. So what we are doing is to have a constitution first, then after the constitution, it is the one that will guide. Because we are going to hand over to the office that comes as the executive.
Yeah, so as I think we are good to go, and the issue of dissolving the committee, that one is not actually, because we were appointed, you people elected us, but we are still executing the work of the university. And our appointment says until we have the first convocation. But through the process, which you people have to agree, today we want to adopt this constitution with the amendments you have already given us. Therefore,
I have just a question as he's explaining. One question I want to put to members. We have a membership fee. Can we for now discuss about it a little or not? Or it shall be discussed after elections?
It was a very good question. Or maybe some guidance. Can we put a...
Sure, thank you so much. And colleagues, we are moving on well, but the time is not on our side. We are not really summarizing our points, and our elders are also getting a little bit disappointed and even hungry and all that. And so they decided to go and have something. So for me, what I'm guiding on the issue of the fees, this is a very right forum to discuss on the issue of how much you people will pay, because for those who will qualify to be on electoral commission, for example, they must be members of the convocation, okay? So they must have paid. Those who will be voting, they must be members according to the constitution, isn't it? They must have paid for them to access the right of voting or be voted, okay? So therefore, passing the fee is very important for us in this meeting. Secondly, and last one, is members, let us be mature people. You cannot say you are dissolving the committee when you are giving them more work. You are saying they go and compile and incorporate your ideas, but again you are saying dissolve. So let us be mature enough. And I think I should, if there is something else, I wanted to speak and conclude my comment, and then maybe we can close. So if you still have some other engagement, it is okay, but that is how I'm guiding. Please, members, come up with a fee which other members will be able to pay, and let it be in the constitution among the comments they will include in the constitution. Okay, that's my suggestion. Let us not push just one.
Okay, members, thank you so much, Academic Registrar, for that guidance. Members, that figure, we can't include it in the constitution, but we can quote it in our minutes of today. Subscription and the rates. There shall be an annual subscription fees payable by members of the convocation. All members of the convocation shall have the right to, but what is important is can we put the annual subscription fees to start with in this meeting? We resolve. We are just proposing. Okay.
Finally, but now, okay, my name is Solomon. Direct to the point, I'm proposing let it be 20,000, since our university is still starting. I had someone commenting that in other universities it's 10, but because our number is still low, so you cannot also go with them. Let it be 20 so that everyone can be able to participate.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Solomon. Solomon has suggested 20,000. Any other member to second or any other figure? Thank you so very much. The secretary has noted that. Members, I think, yeah, it is documented. He has. Solomon has proposed, and Mr. Karatunga has seconded. Members, I think we are good to go. I think we are good to go. Members, I want...
excuse me, Chair, kindly protect me because I don't want to be stabbed by people. Guide me, give a microphone to this person.
Give the microphone to Karatunga, and I'm giving him 20 seconds.
I need also to be protected. I wanted to speak vernacular so that you can get the point.
Please speak the point, please speak the point, Mr. Karatunga.
And don't provoke me on
this. Please speak the point, Mr. Karatunga,
Like
the
to,
chairperson, and we are about to end very well.
The time. So I'm on behalf of the team, the team that you have invited to come. A number of things have been spoken against us and so on. So we really appreciate, first of all, and you are killing my time. You are not paying attention, Chair. So let me come close to you. I really submit an appreciation for the good job well done. And my advice, first of all, the request is, I'm not feeling
yes, go on. Go on.
So I'm requesting that everything that has perturbed the situation, please forgive us.
No, but Mr. Karatunga, we are very okay. We want someone to propose.
And you're provoking me to talk more. So
yes.
In relation to that, let us move on. And on behalf of the team, we ask God to be with us. And